Most journeys such as this, they kind of have an arc. It's kind of like there are times when if you're going on a hike through a space, it's almost like it has a narrative arc. You go through a transformation as you go through this space. I think in some ways, the journey that we're about to go on will have its narrative arc as well. I'm actually from Alberta, so I'm more or less a local. I've lived in Banff for the last 10 years, but I also grew up in Calgary. So I feel very at home here. I first met Jennifer Willett when she first started talking about doing the BioArt camp. I was very interested in it because essentially it's all about, in many ways, ecology. And ecology, because of my environmental studies background, is very much a theme that's close to my heart. It's something I'm really interested in.
I got a half a jug of agar, an old PCR machine. I got a half a jug of agar and an old PCR machine.
I'm very interested in basically situating biotechnology within an ecological context and exploring in a lot of ways actually the kind of mythologies that we have around biotechnology, and especially the old mythologies being these kind of ecosystems of stories that were really about explaining reality. They were based on observation, they were based on epistemological knowledge, whereas science tends to focus mainly on the sort of physical realm. Mythology tends to integrate all the different ecologies, so physical ecologies, social and cultural ecologies, ethics, metaphysics, all of those things basically it's integrative. The idea really behind mythology is that it's about telling stories that weave those relationships together. And this is one of the things we're really challenged to do with biotechnology. Is it's happening so fast, the development is happening so fast. We don't really have a shared set of stories around it that help us to understand what it really is.
Lord, these are strange days, when science and God play around with the old ways, and I can't keep them straight.
This group of artists and scientists working together as this kind of interesting bunch of tricksters who are here to push boundaries and explore, really, a world that's in the midst of a lot of change, but specifically who are here to use art as a kind of, in a sort of disruptive sense almost, to really generate stories that help us to figure out, what biotechnology really is and how it's situated within the realms of our other cultural and ecological experiences.
The birds began to sing. She was fairer than the blue man, rose in early spring, and Mary, she would wander Then Charlie said, my darling, why don't you love me still? For if I can, I'll marry you.
My projects became, it's called Songs of Love, Murder, and Biotechnology. And the project is essentially to really take a number of traditional alternative country, well, sort of most of them are actually traditional roots country songs, kind of country gothic storytelling tales in song form. And what I'm doing is I'm essentially taking those songs and kind of mutating them.
Sometime when I'm thermocycling out underneath the moon. Sometimes when I'm thermocycling out underneath that moon. Well, I swear I hear that spirit call. I can hear that pink raccoon. Sometimes when I'm thermocycling out underneath that moon. And that big old Gila monster guard the way to your front door. And that big old Gila monster, it guard the way to your back door. I'm gonna let the acid bubble down, keep that bottle clean. And I've never seen so many colors. Now we don't get a dream. I'm gonna let the acid bubble down, keep that bottle clean. I got a half a jug of agar and no PCR machine. I got a half a jug of agar and no PCR machine. And that big old jar drove the best damn critter that I ever seen. I got a half a jug of agar and no PCR machine. That big old Gila monster got way on the door. That big old Gila monster, it got way to your back door. And I swear that no matter what you do, ain't gonna breathe them anymore.
The place that we're going to right now is a powerful place. A place where the best thing that you can do sometimes is sit around a fire and tell bear stories.
So this is kind of science fiction, but it's inspired by the guy who invented PCR. What was his name?
Kary Mullis.
Kary Mullis. Kary Mullis was an interesting guy. Not only was he visited by green raccoons, but the day he accepted his Nobel Prize, he apparently broke up with his girlfriend, and he said that he said that the Nobel Prize was okay, but life was kind of depressing because he broke up with his girlfriend. And then later on, he became like an AIDS denier and all kinds of weird stuff like that. Yeah, like he's a really odd guy. So it's a song about a guy who travels around the countryside breeding genetically modified pets. And his woman left him, and he's got some other problems too.
We're sorry, Mom.
And I've never played it like this, so we'll see how it goes.
I realize I'm
Not at all.
Like a Canadian witch.
Yeah, exactly. La 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 la. Okay. We're dogging on the muggy oak trail. We're dogging on the muggy oak trail. Feel free to
Howl
like
along.
coyotes, do whatever you want. You never really loved me, darling. You never did, and that's a fact. We're dogging on the muggy oak trail. I got a half jug of agar and an old PCR machine. I got a half a jug of agar and an old PCR machine. That big old jar grows the best damn critters that I ever seen. I got a half a jug of agar and an old PCR machine. I'm gonna let the acid bubble. I gotta keep that bottle clean. I'm gonna let the acid bubble. Gotta keep that bottle clean. And I never seen so many colors, not even in a dream. I gotta let the acid bubble, gonna keep that bottle clean. Oh, we're dogging on the muggy oak trail. We're dogging on the muggy oak trail. Oh, and sometimes when I'm thermocycling out of underneath the moon, sometimes when I'm thermocycling out underneath that moon,